Hello, everyone. Welcome to Az's team selection in this international break.
Dismantling my office. Hold on.
I'm joined by Mr. Mark Southerns, who brings his tech issues to the stream, which is why we're late.
Stress at 9 in the morning. That's what you want.
Oh, I'm going to put up with this once a week, Mark. Let alone. I don't know. Well, to be fair, this is the one we're doing this week, isn't it? So it's kind of fitting.
Yeah, this week.
Yeah. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, no, good. I did a stream yesterday morning as well. And I had tech issues there. I had to do it on my iPad.
Of course.
So then I fixed everything, and then I thought I'd fixed everything until, of course, you turn up last minute with 2 minutes to go.
Well, it's all right when I do it kind of on my own, because it's just a case of just press play and you go. And then I got to my test, I was like, I've got 2 minutes to set Mark up with everything, and then the order didn't work. But it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, here we are. I've gone for a bit of an OnlyFans type thumb. Don't know if you saw that. Bit of a cheeky.
Have you?
Cheeky, as I look at...
Would you describe that? I'm not familiar with the OnlyFans platform.
Well, no, nor am I, obviously. I've heard about it.
You know enough to know what a thumb looks like, so that's interesting.
I've heard about it from sometimes you post on Twitter and you get the girls posting saying...
He's flailing around here, isn't he, listener?
Well, since Elon's took over, there's been a lot more of that. Anyway, let's quickly move on. It is a pleasant surprise, says Doy. Yeah, I was happy when you said you could join us. Hi to everyone in the chat. Spider at it again, influencing your tech issues.
I don't know. Every now and then I do feel something run across my hand or my foot, and it freaks me out completely. So I know he's here somewhere. I just don't.
Do you want to tell the viewers about your dream last night as well?
What? What do you mean? What my dream last night? What are you talking about?
I woke up to a message from this morning saying you dreamt that you left your wife and kids and me.
Oh yeah.
And became a full-time FPL content creator or something.
Yeah, no, it's just the FCAs were last night, weren't they? So congrats to everyone who won those, and we were up late watching.
We didn't go.
They're so late, aren't they? The awards. they were like, I thought, are they going to do them about 8:30, 9 o'clock? But they didn't start coming in. The fancy ones didn't come in about 10:30.
Yeah, it was like that last year.
Plastered by then, surely.
It was like that last year. And I saw Tom Freeman. He started off in his suit, tie, looking really smart. By the time the fantasy awards rolled out, he was just an absolute wreck on the table on his 11th Heineken.
Yeah, no, but congrats to Net the Hall, to Holly, and who won the other one? I forgot. All about FBL, of course.
All about FBL.
Editorial, yeah.
Which is over Scout and Hub, which is
who didn't get nominated, which is a bit odd. But
yes, I mean Scout not featuring in the top 3 is a bit strange, but
we are of course sponsored by the Scout, who provide all our data.
And FPL BlackBox not winning best pod of the video, very suspicious.
Yeah, we're absolutely it's a miracle we're even turning up and getting out of bed after that devastation.
Yeah, but no, honestly, congratulations to everyone. That everyone puts in a hell of a lot of effort, and the big accounts, the smaller accounts as well, getting kind of recognised at those things is really nice. So congrats. Putting this stream, Mark, pretty self-indulgent, not going to lie.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Also, I need you because obviously we can see from the ranks, I shouldn't be getting you on when you're 69k in the world and I'm 2.4 million, but here we go. I also wanted to talk about the bench boost too. I don't know if you've seen, but I've been getting a bit of flack on Twitter. People, a bit like our Match of the Day challenge, when people say, "Oh, there's a big conspiracy, we're actually watching it." People saying that I did it deliberately, which is...
I think it's fair enough that people can't believe you'd be so stupid. So, I mean, it is hard to believe that someone who dedicates a good part of their life to FBL accidentally plays a chip. Can we have some kind of explanation for that? Because when I found out it was Saturday morning, I think the deadline had passed. Yes, it had, because I was up late that morning and it had gone past deadline, and I saw you going, "Oh my OMFG," and I was like, "What's he done now?" And it took me a while to work it out. It's
probably when something happens and you just feel like sick. I can't even explain the thing. It was like panic and sick in one go, and it's pathetic.
Well, I get that before every stream.
Yeah, you know how you feel when the roadcaster starts working.
Yeah.
It was. The only excuse is I think a lot of people who are saying that I did it deliberately, which is complete nonsense. Let's just clarify that. It was obviously not. It was obviously not.
I saw the WhatsApps. There's no way that was deliberate. What you put in WhatsApp.
I mean, I don't use the app, So I think a lot of people who are saying that
that's your first problem.
yeah, I think a lot of people saying that it was kind of deliberate and maybe forgetting the fact I don't use the app. So this is like the desktop screen, right? So the chips are at the bottom. On the app, they're right at the top, and it clearly says Bench
it
Boost
does.
active on the app, which I didn't know about. On this one, you can see if I activate the triple captain, which is terrifying me even pressing the button. I'm going to. The button doesn't change.
Don't do it again, Az.
It just changes to cancel, but the actual thing doesn't change. You have to save your team. So all that I can think happened was either on the desktop version or on my phone, I made a sub transfer. I made a sub, so I bought it. I took Supercats out, ironically, for someone else. I then must have as I was scrolling down on my phone, I must have hit the button somehow, and then save team, and then just not even thought to check it. And the only thing that kind of shows up, and you can kind of see it on this video, is you scroll down, you kind of click it, so it's the same as desktop.
So hold on, so you use the website on your app, on your phone? Are you a mentalist?
The app.
Use the app.
The app. So apparently it's better now, right? And okay, that's fine. A few years ago, I thought I found the app unusable, like genuinely unusable. I hated the UI of it. It was
did it
buggy.
do things like accidentally play your chips and things like that? I mean, that would be unforgivable if it did that. When you say unusable, what do you mean?
It was. I just didn't like the way the transfer pages worked. I didn't like the selecting team. It felt very kind of cluttered. It crashed a lot as well. It just didn't work for me. We're probably talking.
As the bad rank isn't down to the app, by the way. In case
this was about 3 years ago, and that was when I was doing all right. Those were the glory years. But yeah,
there were glory years, listener.
There was, yeah. And then obviously when you then play the Bench Boost chit, the only kind of notification you get on the desktop stuff is this bloody blue line.
Oh yeah, that's pathetic.
At the bottom, which is ridiculous. And what was really interesting was that we did BlackBox on Wednesday
didn't spot it
last week. You didn't spot it, obviously. Andy was on with us. He didn't spot it. There was nothing in the chat about it either, because I went back and looked. But we did have one comment on the YouTube stream.
Was it from Slippers?
And it said your bench boost is activated. So I didn't see that comment. But then on Twitter, when I posted my teams before the deadline, someone posted saying bench boost is on, right? and I thought I saw that comment.
I had such a laugh Saturday morning.
And I thought they meant your bench looks really good. The bench boost is on.
And then Andy was on Twitter, wasn't he, going, why are you playing your bench boost as? And you, just your reaction was just hysterical. You got one of those things where you watch it back. It's like that video. You've seen that video, that kids TV thing where it's like, we're ordinary men. We're just ordinary men.
just.
I always look back at that, and no matter how many times I've seen it, it always makes me laugh. The tweets that happened the morning, I'll always look back on them, and it'll always make me laugh because your reaction was just classic.
It was another one where because after the stuff that happened in Game Week 11, obviously getting 11 points, it was like, okay, I just need a normal game week now. And then literally I posted my team, and literally as I posted it, I was like, right, I'm gonna just, because I've been all morning stressing about my transfer, my captain, everything. I was like, I'm just gonna post my team and just go for a shower. I come up the shower, I see all these messages, mostly from Andy, and then all these WhatsApps from people, and then I was like, no, I haven't played the bench. What they talk about? I went on the app, and then because my screen was still there, I scrolled down, saw bench boost activated, was like, oh no, clicked cancel, but then obviously the game had refreshed.
And
then I was just like,
to save it.
I was just, and then I started thinking, who's on my bench? And I was like, oh my god, and it's Turner who's not going to play, it's Archer away at Brighton, it's Kabore away at United, and Simicast, who I don't think is going to play. And I was just like, this.
Have you looked back at your previous weeks to see if this is your highest scoring bench? Because if it is, that is massive jam. I'm going to do that now. I bet it is.
I think it probably is.
I bet it is. I'm honest.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't done that. Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that is unbelievable. I'm just looking now. Bench points. It is as well.
Yeah. Oh, well, Game Week 11 I got 19.
Miles.
No, Game Week 11 I got 19.
Oh, okay. So,
and what's this, 18? Okay, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay.
If I'd done it last week, I wouldn't have got the 11 points.
Second highest.
Second highest.
By 1 point.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at your previous bench points, it's incredibly jammy. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like bittersweet, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously like I look stupid, right? And I don't like looking stupid. It's not something for anyone thinking that
Why are you doing this then? Why
I know.
are you even
Well,
doing
exactly. I
FPL
know.
stream?
Well, I kind of owe a bit of explanation, but for all the people saying like I do it, like I've done it deliberately, I don't like looking stupid. Like I often look stupid. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like
That
it.
comes naturally. That.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it was just a weird thing. But what's been really interesting is that I have had so many messages from people saying they've done similar in the past. People who use the desktop version, like I do, and FPL will say, we'll use the bloody app then, which is fair
Yeah,
enough.
just use the app. Honestly, the app's good.
But a lot of
It's all
people have done similar. And I even had someone who'd done it the same week as me. Messaged me on
Right.
Instagram, said I've done exactly the same. And his
To be
bench...
fair, there's 11 million players, so...
Yeah, you got to think a couple will do.
I thank you for giving me a laugh on Saturday. I wasn't going to go out and do any footage, but I just thought I'm going to have to talk about that. I'm going to have to go for a walk and talk about that. It's absolutely brilliant.
Well, I'm glad people... And Kabore got to 59 minutes with a clean sheet.
Yeah,
and I was
wow.
like, oh, maybe it's going to happen. And then he conceded. And yeah, I mean, really though, it really was Simicast. And, you know, I would have... The thing was, I took a hit to bring in Livramento to bench Simicast. So if I hadn't played the bench boost, and I would have been 19 points down on that move.
Oh my God.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'd be absolutely distraught. So
So basically, had you not bought Livramento in, you'd have had no bench at all. What would your bench have been?
if I hadn't bought
It'd have been
Livramento in,
Turner,
yeah,
Archer, Kabore and who?
Destiny, Adogi.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow.
So it wouldn't have actually made any difference, like in terms of
No,
points, because I
not
would have had
really.
Simicast anyway.
I mean, your bench is... You really should just swap Livramento to Simicast and let's call your bench 3 points. Should we do that? Let's do that. That makes me feel better.
Well, I was always getting rid of Destiny, and it was between Livramento and Lascelles really. Like I was always going to make that move because I know we had the Gomez injury, but I think if he hadn't got injured, I don't think Simicast would have played that match. So
No. This is it. You know, I was beating myself up for not having Simicast in the team, but
yeah.
I don't think he would have started if.
I mean,
no, do we?
This is the question I'm getting a fair bit. This is from Scott Speed. The point is, are you happy with the result? Now you don't have to think about and plan for the bench boost, and don't need to save your wild card to set up for it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think if I hadn't played it, it's 18 points, but it saved me 19 points.
All that
really,
trauma.
yeah, and. I think you would. I think if you offered anyone an 18-point bench boost, I think they'd take it, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah. I mean, like 20 is what you want, isn't it? But
Yeah.
you're very close to what you'd want from your bench boost there. I think so. And who knows? There might not be a really good week to play it later on. You know, we always save it for the doubles, and we always we always end up building our teams around it, and then making some compromises on transfers leading into it that basically lose us the points anyway. I mean, I think if we analyse it season to season, very rarely does it give you a big advantage. It's just that perception, isn't it? But Andy's in the chat. He's off. Looks like his kid's ill, and he's saying that this is very kind of him. You deserve some good variance this season. Andy, are you all right?
Is he all right?
Yeah,
You
maybe
okay?
he's ill as well. I think.
Nicest thing he's ever said to me.
know, he's gonna
Shows how
follow
badly I'm doing when Andy's saying.
I mean, I
deserve some
know
luck.
that I know he feels I've been unlucky all season. So,
Yeah.
We've got a new member. Weghorse has joined.
Oh, lovely! Welcome
we
to
go.
the
Shall we
welcome
talk
to the
about
Godfather
members?
tier. Yeah, absolutely. I don't normally talk about members on this stream because we don't get any
Oh,
really.
okay. Well, you got one now.
The main show, but yeah, thank you very much, Workhorse. Yeah, if anyone wants to join the Godfather tier, then you can do so. There's a link in the description. We've got
Discord
some
launching today.
Yeah, we've got some fun things launching. We've got obviously the WhatsApp chat. We've got a Discord server launching. We've got the predictions league. We've got the black box leagues. Billy will wash your car. Loads of stuff going on. So yeah, do get
I
involved.
found out on Discord it's got like a Spaces type thing where you can do like chats with
Oh, nice.
people. And, yeah, so we can use that, you know.
Yeah, I mean it was originally just going to be a WhatsApp chat, but because that's grown out quite a lot, then we're switching to Discord. We'll still have the WhatsApp chat. I think we'll cap the WhatsApp chat at 50. I think we're at like 35 at the moment, so we can get about 15 more into that, and then obviously then it'll all be on Discord.
I can't stop putting Andy's.
Yeah, why'd you keep flashing that?
Right, let's do it. What were we talking about? You're talking about your car crash of a team, right?
Yeah, I mean,
not that
it was less of a car crash this week. I mean, the biggest problem was Watkins. I took the captaincy off. I had it on Haaland all week. One of the black box lessons I say every bloody year: don't make last minute changes. And I took the captain off Haaland and to Watkins. That cost me 10 points, which is if I had got that, I got 90 with a -4. I'd be in the 100 club if I hadn't done that, because it was 10 points between them. So it was a week where I thought Salah and Haaland might struggle, because I thought Brentford was a fairly difficult game for Liverpool, and I thought Chelsea away was tough for Man City, and it did not turn out like that. And actually, it was Watkins that missed absolutely glorious chances in the game he had, and it was quite a big problem. But Adingra came through, broke the fifth midfielder curse.
Yeah,
finally.
I thought of you when that goal went in. Good goal as well, wasn't it?
Amazing goal. Yeah, I think one of my favourite goals I think we've ever scored. I think that one and the Matoma one against
Wolves.
No, well, that was good as well. I meant the one against Liverpool last season.
Oh, right. Okay.
The one against Wolves was also special. But yeah, it was great. And then, Diaby getting an assist. Do you want to explain that one?
Well, he touched it. Nothing to explain.
Okay.
Opta saw the touch. Nothing to do with FPL.
Outcry. There was outcry with that.
Was there a good angle? I still haven't seen a good angle of it. So, was there outcry? Oh, he touched it.
There always is. Yeah. Saka with just the assist. So Saka was my transfer. I could have just done Martinelli for free, but I kind of wanted. I think there was some doubts around Saka, but all of the evidence pointed to a start. He was with the squad. I know we'd seen him with the squad with Man City, but I think someone tweeted saying, if Arteta's playing mind games against Burnley by bringing like Saka to the to the Emirates,
it's desperate times. Yeah,
it's desperate times. And I watched the knock he got as well, and there was no muscular injury. It was just a bit of a coming together. It was fine. So
he's pretty durable, isn't he?
He's very durable, yeah. But there is still a bit of a thing with him, isn't there? Like you kind of do worry a little bit whether he is sort of playing through a bit of pain and fully fit. But
he's still their best player, though, isn't he?
Still, they need him. They just need him so much, and with the other injuries they've got, and with the fixtures they've got as well, I still think you kind of need him.
Thing is, it's bizarre. Like, if City were full power and winning every game, I'd be like, oh, Arsenal got to play their strongest team because they've got to win every game. But City aren't on full power, but I still feel like it's up for grabs now, isn't it? It's like, if you look at Spurs as well are in the hunt, and Liverpool will think they're in the hunt. I think City drawing at Chelsea would convince everyone again that it's anyone could win the title this season. City aren't going to run away with it. Maybe that's what it's looking like anyway.
Have you seen they're kind of like 82% favourites according to a predictor model though?
Yeah, so they're still favourites. Fair enough. But I just think that they're fallible. They're going to have games where they are going to get held to draws like they were at Chelsea. They got exposed a bit against Chelsea, I thought.
I hope that more teams are realising that if you actually try and play against them, you can actually get some rewards, because they're not
as opposed to doing what Forest do, turn up and see out the 90
well, yeah,
minutes.
exactly, yeah.
Right. If you try.
If you try and you press them a bit, Wolves have had success already. Chelsea, played well in that game and attacked when maybe they could have been a bit more defensive. But yeah, it's defensively they just look a bit not the same as maybe we've seen in previous years. And I think it's a big part of that is Stones not being.
Well, they don't
available.
have a left back, do they? Yeah, and Stones has been fit and unfit. So yeah, I think that they're there to be got at if you've got the props to do it. Chelsea did have. Palmer was great, wasn't he? Again. So yeah, it was.
I think I was glad to get the Adingra points, because Palmer is someone every week I'm thinking that move is looking worse and worse, going for Adingra over Palmer. I think Palmer's coming in definitely by game week 15. That's when the fixtures really turn. But yeah, he's looking good. He's looking just such a good option. How much would you pay for Palmer at the moment? He's like a 7.75 mid, isn't he?
Even though Adingra get his goal, you've still got to look to get Palmer in, haven't you? Surely. Because they got a fantastic run coming, Chelsea.
It's Newcastle next.
16, it's incredible.
Newcastle next. I don't think I need to rush for him. I know they've got some injuries, but I think the international break will be good for them. And then it's Brighton at home. So that will hurt as a Brighton fan to take a Adingra out of that game for Palmer. But I think that's the kind of the sensible play.
United away isn't a tough fixture anymore. Then they go Everton, Sheffield United, Wolves, Palace, Luton, Fulham.
Yeah.
That's got to be the best 6 in a row that any team have got this season. I can't. Yeah. That's a ridiculous run. That's Like, okay, they've only got one promoted side in that one. No, they've got two promoted sides, and even the sides that they have got are weakest in the Premier League, I would say, amongst the weakest. I mean, Everton are playing well this season. Wolves have got a bit about them, but you still think Chelsea would go there and score goals. I don't think they keep clean sheets.
Are you
worried?
worried
Look at those six and think they're going to win 4 of those, aren't they?
Yeah.
So.
Are you worried about the fact he's had one attacking return that hasn't been a penalty so far?
No, not at all, because he's so good. He's such a good player. So I look at him and think he's got a touch of the Madisons about him in terms of his influence. Like, if Chelsea are going to win a game, he's going to have to pull the strings, basically.
It's amazing how a player can come in like that and just have such an impact, isn't it? Because he wasn't even in the team like at the start of the season, and he's broken in, and I don't know where they'd be without him. He's absolutely incredible.
I mean, Rags is right. He's not going to get penalties. He might get 1 or 2 more this season. I'm not counting on that, but I just think in that the way he's playing and with those fixtures, he's going to get returns that certainly warrants his price anyway. So here's a question for you: has he killed the 4-3-3? Do you think because Palmer's available so cheaply and he's so good, would you have 3 strikers, or would you always have 5 mids now? No,
I think it's 5 mids, isn't it? And I think the template is just going to grow even stronger, because I think we're going to have Salah, Saka, Palmer, and Mbeumo when the fixtures turn again in a few weeks, and then it's a Son or Bowen, isn't it? That's it. I can't see any for a while. I can't see any players really shaking that up.
I do like Eze.
Yeah, we'll come over to my watch list here. These are the kind of the players that I've got on it. So I mean, that's the midfield. It's interesting to know if you agree with these. These are just the players that I think, I'm kind of looking at. I mean, Gordon is an interesting one. I mean, he's someone who can shake that up a bit, sort of playing up front. So maybe he's the one instead of Palmer, I guess. If you've got Gordon, do you move Gordon to Palmer though?
I don't know. I mean, I think you can have Gordon and Palmer, to be honest. I mean, I would put Gordon in that bracket with Eze and Mbeumo and Matoma. And again, we just got to forget the price and to some extent, or that lower bracket, just broaden it a bit, because I think it's everything from, and Mbeumo's 6'8" now, I think. So everything from Mbeumo down is one bracket for me. Palmer at 5'2" is probably in that lower level, along with Adingra. But there's a whole group of people, including Matoma, Eze, Gordon, I would lump together, that are about $1 million apart. And I think, Mbeumo, his fixtures, I mean, the thing with him, he's been consistent. His XG is fantastic, and the fixtures are good enough. He's got the blank in 18, that's the worry. But after that, Wolves, Palace, Forest, and before that, Sheffield United away, Brighton, Villa. They're not super easy. And if you get him now, you've got to think about the 18. This is it. Well, what I'll say to you is here, I don't think any FPL manager should be making a transfer now without looking at about how that impacts their team in 18 and how they're going to move to City and Brentford for the potential double in 20. You've got to factor that in now, haven't you? You don't want to be signing a player who's got a difficult fixture in game week 18. You want to be signing players who give you the promise of points, because we're going to be benching Haaland and potentially Mbeumo in that week.
Yeah, I mean, the player that we want to who's going to be a factor for us in 18 is going to be Archer, because he's going to be in so many people's benches. Aston Villa away in 18, so we're going to be calling on him, because obviously a lot of us have got Haaland, a lot of us have got going to have Mbeumo, maybe even a Brentford defender. Like, benches are going to be called upon, and that is not a great fixture for Archer. Let's be honest. In 19, it's Luton. It's like, why can't it just be 1 week later? But yeah, I think that, I mean, the thing is, I mean, those fixtures for Mbeumo, I really, Luton at home, Brighton away, Sheffield United away, Aston Villa at home, I think they are amazing fixtures. I just think he's worth it, and then maybe you sell him in 18.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like, I like Eze for the next 3, Luton, West Ham, Bournemouth at home, but then perhaps moving off him to Mbeumo for the Sheffield United Villa. As long as you've got a plan for 18, as long as you've got, if you're going to be benching Mbeumo and Haaland, you've got to have 2 players you can bring in.
Well, you sell Mbeumo, right? You sell Mbeumo, and then
you could sell Mbeumo.
Then you just got to deal with Haaland.
Yeah. I mean, that's the advantage of getting Mbeumo now, is that you haven't got any value tied up on him. So letting him go again is not a wrench, is it? Whereas people who have had him all season will be like, I lose 0-3, 0-4, whatever, right? So there's a bit of that about it, but yeah. I
mean, in terms of the non-penalty XG up in 90, when looking at some of those midfielders, it's pretty. They're all doing really well. You look at Gordon, 0.47 over the season. Diaby, he's got. I mean, he's an interesting one, isn't he, as well? Because he's going to be
right,
the sacrifice. But
yeah.
getting subbed at 60, slightly fortuitous assist. But Spurs and Bournemouth next.
He had a very good chance though. He should have scored, shouldn't he? That chance he had on the penalty spot again, which was saved. He could have come away with a double figure. He's not an easy sell, particularly Spurs away, right? Like I was going to sell him this week, but I think it's going to be cash. I've got 2 free transfers. What have you got? 2?
No, just 1.
Right. What are you going to do then? Are you going to?
We'll come to that in a sec, but that's a spoiler. Probably hold.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm going to hold Diaby and Watkins this week and then sell them next week. Going into. Who have they got? They got Man City, Arsenal to come, haven't they? They've got Bournemouth.
I think cash is the priority sell, isn't
he? He is. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at some other mid. I mean, you've got Mitoma. He's got a bit of an injury, but underlying stats are good. 0.48. Bowen 0.52. Now playing up front. We saw that against West Ham. Against Forest, against you. Palmer 0.52, and then you go up to Fernandez 0.54, but then you've still got Mbumo, so high 0.77, non-penalty XG per 90 over the season.
Yeah.
I mean, we did that episode, didn't we, weeks ago, which was looking at his chances. He doesn't get too many of them, but when he does, they're great chances.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, and Jack Reynolds raised a question here on Luis Diaz, is he a low-key differential? And this is the point when I'm talking about Mbumo and Eze. They start every game. And the problem is we're going into a period where there's midweek game weeks now. So 15 is the first one. I think is 18 a midweek one? I think it is. I think 18 is between, obviously it's between 17 and 19. Hey, that's why you watch this, right? It's between... It's a midweek one, I'm pretty sure. There's a small gap. Oh, is it 19 then? Because there is a cluster.
19th is the one after Christmas, the 28th. So
right.
that's when there's 3 game weeks in 7 days.
Yeah,
18 to 20.
Right. So my point is because the matches are coming closer together, a player like Diaz is not going to play 3 games in a week, whereas Eze and Mbumo definitely are because they're absolutely pivotal to their teams. So
I think you've got to be looking at making transfers for players who we know are going to start in the thing. And again, that was another reason for Martinelli not going for him as well, because obviously he's first choice for Arsenal, but he can get subbed early, he can Trossard.
And that is
why
in. When you're looking at forwards and you're going, I'm going to sell Watkins for Darwin. Watkins plays every single game.
Yeah. No, completely agree. I think that's basically what I want to touch on the. Let's just get rid of this comment. There was a comment from Veghorse. Sorry, did it by accident, and a £2 super chat. I don't know whether he's saying he became a member by accident.
I think he's taking the mick out of you, which is great. Which means that he should get his membership.
Why do I keep missing these? What's wrong with me?
Well, surely he is, isn't he? Maybe.
That's. Thank God you're in. No, that's very good. I thought he was just saying he became a godfather, Tim.
Oh, no, maybe he did. But...
I don't know why they give us.
I like Weghorst already. Brilliant. He's going to be a good addition to the WhatsApp. Brilliant.
Absolutely. Yeah. Send me an email, Weghorst, at FPLBlackBox.com. We'll get you in the chat. My team then, and this is how I'm kind of currently set up. I've got Areola in goal. I hate owning Areola. Don't you look at him every week and just think, what is the point of you?
I do. I mean, I really wanted to get Saliba in, but he's gone up 0-3. Now I'm going, well, if I want to double up on Arsenal, which I really do, it's going to have to be Raya, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I want to get the money to get Raya in.
Yeah. Obviously, don't do it this week because can't play against Brentford. But
of course.
Week after, he looks really strong. I mean, and Johnston as well. I think for Palace, I know they've conceded a couple of goals. Against Everton,
but you can cover Johnston with a defender. That's the difference, right? With Raya, you can't. There's not a defender other than Gabriel that we've all got, who is of that price point, who's going to play every game. Zinchenko and Tomiyasu, we don't know who's the starter out of those two, really. And when there's close clustered games, they're not going to play both anyway. So
Raya just feels like a gift, doesn't he? You've got an under 5 million goalkeeper playing for a top side, who's had a history of being the top scoring goalkeeper in the game.
He might get a rotation. Do you think he'll get a rotation over Christmas? He might do.
I don't think he will. I don't think Ramsdale's dad's comments help very much.
No.
Did you see Ramsdale's interview?
Yes.
when
he was like, I can't concentrate for 90 minutes. He could never do BlackBox, could he? He'd never last. He'd be like wandering off halfway through. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. And just see the meme where they zoomed in on Ian Wright's face and just said, shut up, boy, what are you saying? I mean, it's crazy comment that, isn't it?
And I think someone else commented saying I can't believe his put that out, and not edited it out, because it was a really weird comment. Yeah, and then they've seen all the videos of him like looking at birds, like when they land on the pitch, and he's like, "Oh, God!"
Just utterly bizarre, isn't it? I lost you there for a minute. I didn't lose my internet.
Really?
Did you lose me? I don't know.
Nope.
That's really weird. Okay.
It's probably you and your dodgy
No,
shed
it didn't
internet.
go down. Yeah, I mean that was surprising. I mean maybe Rayo is safe off the back of that then. But yeah, it's a gift. You are right. I think it's a gift. Ariola's run now, though. I think we've got to keep him. We keep saying this, don't we? His fixtures are good. Burnley and Palace, Fulham, Wolves in the next 5. I mean that is pretty good. So you know what'll happen if we sell him. So I'm not going to do it yet.
I think the thing I hate with goalkeepers and defenders is when they concede and you just go, yeah, obviously, like, you're waiting for them to concede. Whereas sometimes you're only a defender or goalkeeper and you're annoyed when they concede, you know? And that's the way I look at Areola. I just expect him to concede every match. I expect 1 to 2 points from him every game. And it's like, why have I got him in my team? I'm just not happy with him.
Yeah, but you have a look, and I think he's only got 10 points less than like the top keeper over this period.
I guess that's
anyway.
that's the thing,
so
isn't
it's like,
it? Yeah.
you know, and with the money that we've saved, have we got those 10 points back somewhere else? Probably because you know, if I didn't have Aviola, I probably couldn't have Palmer. Well, I know I couldn't because I'm on 0 in the bank, so that's what I've got to look at. I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I guess with cash potentially being an issue, moving him down frees up a bit of funds to maybe go up to Raya. And for me, in defence, Gabriel, again, he annoys me owning him. I worry about him every week.
Do you?
Yeah. You not worried about him?
No, I think he's okay at the moment. I think that I think he will get a rotation over Christmas, maybe 1 or 2. So he is a risk, but I think it's easier to get 5 active defenders when there's Lascelles and Livramento about. So I think I'm okay. Because I don't think he comes off the bench very often. I think we've been unlucky. In the weeks where he hasn't started, we've been unlucky when he's come on because of the match state or 10 men.
Yeah.
I don't think that happens all the time. So if he does get benched, I don't think we can go, oh, he's definitely going to come on. So as long as you've got some reserve defenders who play, and with Simicas, Livramento, Lascelles, there's some really good options, isn't there? So.
Yeah, and I think the Burnley game was quite big, I think, for his... Because if he'd been benched in that, he's a massive issue. And I think he could have been if Kiwa had come in. But I think it was a bit of a statement for him to play that game because he'd already played all the other matches going into it. So, yeah, maybe a bit less doubts on him. Then I got Cash. I think he needs to go at some point. I'm kind of happy to give him the Bournemouth game and Spurs. Hope for some attacking returns in those. But, yeah, he's definitely on the way out. And then Livramento... I don't think so. I think I'm going to hold. I think I want to just... I think this week doesn't look like a kind of a particularly great week. Like I'm looking at a lot of the fixtures and it's hard to kind of know who's going to do well. So I think this week I'm just going to leave it and then have a bit more to play around with next week. Livramento, I mean, I hope he doesn't... Well, I mean, he's already a bit of a problem for me because I just wasn't expecting him to be benched for Hull. But another poor performance from Hull in the first half, and he obviously can't play Chelsea. So I think Livramento comes in against Chelsea, and if he puts in a good performance, I think he gets a run.
I think the lack of ability of Hall against Chelsea probably played into the selection for Bournemouth, I imagine. Because had Livramento started that game and picked up an injury, they wouldn't have Hall or Livramento over Chelsea. So I imagine that was in-house thinking. So that's what I'll go with anyway. I mean, Livramento's a better player. So
yeah. It's just, I think it's just whether if he wants to keep Trippier on the right.
Yeah, but Livramento came on and played left, didn't he? So
he played everywhere.
Yeah,
he was left, right,
fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it weakens Newcastle significantly. Trippier playing on the left, unless we feel that he's not going to contribute assists from that area. Which there's a theory on that, but I don't think it's proved yet. So I think Trippier's so good that he'll find a way. So.
Well, our big difference in our team is, I think our only differences are you've got Trippier, I've got Livramento, and you've got Palmer, and I've got Adingra. Not quite sure how I'm going to catch up.
I'm quite happy with that.
100 points.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, the way I'll do it is by getting my captaincy right, and I got that wrong. And lost another 10 points.
That's how you do it. I did encourage you to take a risk with the captaincy, so I feel somewhat culpable with that. But
it was one because we said a week potentially take a risk is when the captains split. The trouble is both the captains that were split both got massive hauls.
Absolutely destroyed it. Yeah,
absolutely destroyed it. Yeah. And then I mean, just touching on, I mean, Salah and Saka aren't going anywhere. We've mentioned Diaby. I think he's got another couple of weeks. Adingra is going to be Palmer at some point, and then it's what to do with Son. really.
Yeah, are you on the fence here? I think he's a hold. I just don't get it, really. I mean, I do get it. People are worried that with Maddison out and with City to come in Game Week 14, he's a sell, but don't know.
So I could sell Son this week, I could play Son this week, or I could captain Son this week. I just don't know what to do with him.
Well, for me, Spurs under Ange score goals no matter what against any team, I think, even without Maddison there. So I'm holding, and I'm probably going to captain him.
I'm going to captain him, yeah. I mean, the option for me that I was thinking was Son to Bowen captain.
Now that is gutsy. Yeah.
Because up against Burnley, Bowen hasn't blanked away from home this season.
No.
I can't see him blanking away at Burnley the way they play.
No.
No,
I think he scores.
And playing up front as well. So it's kind of it feels a bit like for like, but obviously a lot less.
But I think that, it's the money. What can you do with the money? I mean, I think Son is an elite finisher and in a side which is a better side than West Ham. So that's the difference. But is that
worse
the
fixtures?
extra money? Yeah, I'm not putting too much stock into the fixtures.
Okay.
I mean, I'd say Spurs go and score at City the way Ange plays. I mean, he's not going to go there and go, all right, low block, we're going to sit back. He's not. He's just going to go, let's take them on, let's have a go, I think. But, So I think they can score in any game. That's the thing. And obviously Son's the most likely. They haven't had a penalty yet, either. Just want to point that out.
Yeah, I know, that's true. And we know Bowen doesn't take them. Yeah, I mean, so what do you reckon, Son to Bowen? I'm kind of, it feels a bit, I don't know. It feels like you say,
What can you do with the
gutsy.
money? What can you do with the money?
Well, not really a huge amount. I mean, it could be Areola to Raya like the week after. It'd give me a bit more funds to maybe move Livramento up. But if Livramento became a problem, it'd probably be just move to Lascelles, to be honest, who's cheaper. Cash I'd probably downgrade anyway. I could afford Mbumo and Palmer without having to make too many. So not a lot. Like there's not. I can't really see any obvious player here that needs an upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, I if you look at a snapshot of 5 weeks, Bowen's got good fixtures. Does he outscore Son in that run? He could, but I don't think it's a given because of the level. We're talking about Son. We're talking about a top 5 FPL asset here, aren't we? That's the thing. Bowen's definitely great to own. I'd love to have him, but I don't know if I'd lose Son to get him.
Okay. Something to think about. And then up top, it's Haaland and Watkins. I've got the captaincy on Haaland at the moment. That's kind of the default one you go to. And then you get kind of persuaded by other players, and then Haaland smashes it. That seems to be the theme for the last few weeks. He's not a bad captain option, though, is he? Haaland against Liverpool at home.
No, I mean, there's talk of an injury while he's been away with Norway, but I don't expect that to keep him out of this game. I mean, if it was that bad, he'd be flying back, and he's not. So I don't put much stock in that.
Yeah, not many people like in the Son to Bowen move. Son has a higher ceiling. Don't mind Bowen in the team, but alongside Son.
I mean, I think Bowen's got 1 double-figure return this season, so he's been consistent without being spectacular. That's why I wouldn't look at him as a captain either. I don't fear Bowen, whereas if I don't have Son in a game, I fear Son because I just think he's got a brace in him. Right? Whereas I don't know if Bowen has. I don't know. It's West Ham, isn't it? I mean, he's playing
under Moyes.
Yeah, he's playing for a team who aren't full tilt like Spurs are. Whereas Spurs will go 2-0 up and keep going, and that's
a good point. Yeah, I mean, there's still the slight concern about his minutes, though, isn't there? I mean, him coming off at 70, 80, but they're losing options like left, right, and centre. So maybe there's a bit more onus on him to complete.
The players they would bring on for him are on the pitch already. That's the thing. Brennan,
and he's played. He has played 90 in his last 3 games now, Son, as well. So and then he went down in the international game, didn't he? And then he came back. He did.
Looked like he'd been shot, and then he was running around the pitch waving at the end. I'm like, don't do that, Sonny.
Please stop doing that. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's how these team selections.
Lovely stuff.
Fair mark. Been great. Yeah, really nice. Nice to nice to chat to you. We'll be back. Oh, I don't know. Are we back next week? Because you're in Sophia or somewhere, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I can do it because there's a 2-hour time difference. So, like, if you can start late, I can do that.
Yeah.
Is that
should we start at 9?
Yeah, if you can start 9 UK time, that'd be about 11 out there, and I'm flying back the next day, so it's not like I've got to be wide.
Oh, you're 2 hours the other way?
Yeah, so it'd be 11 o'clock for me. So that's fine. It means I can go out for dinner, come in and do the stream from my hotel.
That's a commitment.
Yeah. Well, I've got a good setup now because I've got the camera and the mic that is actually decent, so I've got a good mobile podcasting setup,
Nice.
so
Yeah, we can go anytime. So yeah, just let me know. Yeah, cool. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Thanks to our new Godfather tier member. Hope everyone has a lovely Friday and a nice relaxing weekend away from FPL.
Yeah. No
And,
accidental chips.
No accidental chips. No drama next week. It's going to be
By the book.
stress-free. By the book, exactly. Mark, great to see you. And yeah, we'll see you all next week.
See you later.